Welcome to Family Friday. When people feel valued and safe in loving and trusting relationships, they nurture themselves and others, and they achieve a balance of give and take and a and they create a reliable level of intimacy. When people do not feel loved and secure, the brain stresses, resulting in feelings of what we call pain. And most react in this pain in a fight or flight mode to cope with that pain. People may or may not be aware of their destructive attitudes and feelings. Nevertheless, they repeat these same feelings and destructive behaviors as a reaction, and over time, these behaviors become a habit or automatic. Now, reactive behaviors may be subtle or extreme, but we can see what they are. We can predict they're going to happen, and then we can address them. So, when people do not feel love, they tend to blame others or shame or blame themselves with the subsequent negative feelings and behaviors they repeat in predictable cycles. And when people do not feel secure in their relationships, they tend to either control the variables of those relationships or they escape from them. Now, it's obvious that these and negative feelings and subsequent behaviors are self-destructive, and they are destructive to the relationships around them. Now, to counter this pain cycle, this automatic downward cycle, a person must engage their cognitive brain because the other is basically uncontrolled or unconscious. And you do this by number one, stating aloud or writing down your negative feelings. Now, be honest, brutally honest with yourself. And if you have a chance, do a little detective work so you can identify the trigger that prompted these negative feelings. Next, you state aloud or write down your reactive behaviors. Now, sometimes when you're being reflective, you notice the behaviors first and you have to work backwards to identify the feeling that creates this behavior. But it's important that you can identify the exact feeling. And then start paying attention to how people around you react when you are acting reactively. This again can be a help for you to identify, oops, I'm in my pain cycle. And it will also help you to see how your pain cycle adversely affects others. Now, negative feelings that we've been talking about and reactive behaviors, that equals your pain cycle. When you are in your pain cycle, you are at your worst. Now, when you can do that, you can state a fundamental truth that counteracts your feelings. And again, what you need to do is say it aloud or write it down when you're feeling bad either about yourself or insecure in your relationships or situations. Now, this truth is more than a slogan. It is a statement or a confession that stops your negative feelings cold. Find that truth where you can immediately begin to feel important and safe. Once you've stated the truth that stops those negative feelings cold, you now state aloud or write down what you're going to do now that your sense of value and security have been restored. Now, start with small steps. Say, I will make that phone call. I will shower, shave, and change my clothes and go across the street and talk to my neighbor. Well, then you just have to practice, 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 practice. You may fight your pain cycle the rest of your life, but using this method of self therapy can reduce the amount of time you spend in your pain cycle. And when you and I are in our peace cycle, we are competent to make good decisions. Well, until next time, God bless.